Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about the increased trend or usage of Netflix and its effect upon cable television. First, I'd like to ask you guys, how many of you guys have a subscription to Netflix? Okay, now how many of you guys have a subscription or some form of it of cable? As you can see, many of you guys use cable and many of you guys often also use Netflix. So, I would like to show you today that there is a rise in the usage of Netflix and it has actually surpassed the amount of subscriptions for cable. Yes. So, this is very important for us. We all use Netflix, as you can tell by the classroom, and we're not the only ones who are recognizing this trend of increased usage of online streaming services. For example, I use an online streaming service for music called Spotify, and Spotify has this new promotion where if you are a student, you can have a free account to Hulu for an addition for paying the $4.99 for the Spotify account. This is huge because Spotify is a billion-dollar company and they're realizing that there's an increasing trend of students wanting to use streaming services instead of watching cable, and it's their way of getting ahead of competitors such as Apple Music. So, my thesis for you guys is that Netflix and Hulu are having a huge impact on the decreased trend of viewership for cable channels such as Fox or ABC. Here we are. Yes. So, now I'm going to be previewing my speech for you guys. First, I'm going to be talking about the rising trend of Netflix subscriptions, followed by the effects of this trend upon cable subscriptions. So, we use Netflix more, and the amount of cable subscriptions are going down. So, first I'd like to talk to you guys about what cable used to be, or what Netflix used to be. Netflix used to be something where you would send it in the mail, and you'd get a DVD back in the mail, and you'd watch it. And cable used to be something you'd sit around with your family and watch, whether it was American Idol or Dancing with the Stars, because it was live, and it was something you would do together. But today it's 2017, and that was 10 years ago. Today, we watch Netflix on our phones. We watch an entire season of Stranger Things in 3 days because it just came out and we want to be ahead of the cycle. We want to be able to talk to people about what we're watching. And cable is something we put on the back burner, something that we have but we don't often utilize. So, now I would like to tell you about a Leishman Research Group, who is the largest cable provider in the U.S., and how they posted their findings as of June of 2017, and they found that Netflix had surpassed the cable market in terms of millions of subscribers. Cable television was documented to have 48.6 million subscribers in March, while Netflix was at 50.9 million subscribers. This chart behind me also backs up these numbers and ideas by showing you that over time, Netflix is on an increasing slope while cable subscription is slowly going down. One moment, please. In a 2015 Christian Science Monitor article, it stated that 37% of all internet traffic was because of Netflix and online streaming services. This is very important because it shows you how much data people are using to stream these services. This doesn't mean that 37% of people on the internet right now are using Netflix. What this is talking about is bandwidth usage. So basically, if I search something up on Google versus if you're streaming a show off of Netflix, you're using more data and you're using more of the internet. So 37% is very important because it shows you that of the internet usage that we're using, we're focusing it on watching TV, and that's drawing away viewership from cable. Now, I would like to tell you about my second point, which is that viewership has decreased for television platforms such as Fox or ABC. Directly due to the increased usage of streaming services such as Netflix. The London Economist in February of 2017 had an article which projected that 1 million homes a year were getting rid of their television providers. This is huge because that shows you that 1 million homes a year are getting rid of their cable subscriptions. That's a remarkable amount of people that are choosing online streaming services over cable subscriptions, which is the more traditional route. Next, I'm going to be talking about an article Yes, so in an article, The Long National Nightmare of Cable TV is Over, Megan Garber quoted Les Moonves, who is the chief executive of CBS, and he said that the days of the 500-channel universe are over. I'm going to say that again. The days of the 500-channel universe are over. So this is huge. The fact that a chief executive of CBS, which is one of the biggest cable channels, is basically saying that cable television is on a decline, that it's going down, and that we know that what he's talking about is online streaming services. He's basically saying, I realize cable is going down, and it is, and it's never going to be the same, and we know that that's because people are using services such as Netflix, etc. Yes. So cable isn't completely dead. Cable is always going to be there in some form or another. Cable television subscriptions are basically becoming landlines at home. Many of us use them, but rarely. Many of us have them, but we rarely use them because we like Netflix or our cell phones better. So cable television isn't going to go away. My purpose today isn't to tell you that in 5 years no one's going to have cable, because we'll still have cable subscriptions. But if we're smart, we won't, because we're predominantly going to be using online streaming services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, etc. So, in conclusion, Netflix is currently more popular than cable television in terms of viewership. So, to wrap up exactly what I said, first, I told you guys about the increased usage of Netflix. Now, more than ever, people are having subscriptions and paying for Netflix, whereas cable ratings are actually going down. Yes, so first I talked about how Netflix is going up, and then my second point was that cable subscriptions are actually going down. So my final thoughts today for you guys are that Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime are great resources to watch a bunch of TV and movies. Let's say goodbye to paying $80 a month for 500 channels that we won't ever actually watch. And let's just pay $5 a month as a student to subscribe to Netflix. Thank you guys.